Welcome into the Full Gear 2022 hits, misses, and questions that came out of tonight's show. I am your host, Vince McKee, and you're listening to Keon Sports. Starting at the top with the question. After another loss to Ricky Starks tonight, the question remains, will Brian Cage continue to be a perennial jobber in every single important match he has in AEW? This whole winless streak in major pay-per-view matches, stipulations for Brian Cage, once again comes up empty. At this point in time, I think he's better off just leaving. Another question, is Eddie Kingston slowly coming out of the AEW doghouse with another win on pay-per-view, albeit on the dark portion of the card? We think so, and we're happy to see it. One of the rare misses from a phenomenal show tonight was Christian's role in the cage match. He did nothing in this role other than getting the cage door open a little bit, got tossed out, and then at the end of the day, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Luchasaurus, really didn't utilize anything. What was the point? You're going to say, well, Luchasaurus swung Jungle Boy Jack Perry off the cage to bust him open. He was already bleeding. Just dumb. Real dumb. However, a big hit right after that. The Elite's entrance. Carry on, my wayward son. There'll be peace when you are gone. Clearly, a reference right to CM Punk, and the crowd right after it with a chance of fuck you, CM Punk. The entire match, excellent, as we figured it would be with the Elite. The only thing I'm going to say, though, the ending. I'm going to give it a miss. The ending. How many finishers could Rey Fenix take and keep coming back? At some point, you really want a finisher to be good? Think back to the Stunner. Think back to Goldberg's Spear, his Jackhammer. Triple H back in the day with the pedigree. You never saw somebody get up after getting hit with it once. That is what they need to stop doing in AEW. And to an extent, in WWE, it's like they're dropping a bomb on this guy and he keeps coming back. That needs the end. One of the few misses of the night. Also, Don Callis on commentary was not needed. Cannot stand the fact of having all these extra guys on commentary. Taz and JR did a great job making up for the piss-poor performance once again by Excalibur. Saw another huge hit tonight. Jade Cargill's Thundercat outfit. Jade Cargill. We know her for the undefeated record. We know her for her phenomenal in-ring performance. But she's also starting to look real sexy out there as well, crossing over everything you need perfectly. The match itself, also a hit. Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose. It was a total package. Cargill is showing you she can do everything. She can play the face. She can play the heel. She let Rose get in a lot of offense tonight, still came back to win, suspended disbelief, and there were times there that people truly thought Rose would have won. Moving forward, if you noticed, this was a question that we had. The SG on Sammy Guevara's outfit, when he comes in, he has that big SG. Does that stand for his name? Or does it stand for the Spanish God? Another question, will Chris Jericho's entrance song, Judas in My Mind, ever allow him to fully get over as a heel? I don't think so. That song is that damn good. We'll move on. Another question that arises, and at this point, I almost think it's a miss. You can't have so many submission holds in a four-way match, okay? In a four-way match like tonight's Ring of Honor title match, why would anybody go for a submission hold when there's two other guys right there to break it up? I realize wrestling's scripted, but after a while, you have to suspend disbelief, and you're never going to be able to do that. Time after time after time tonight in that four-way ROH match, guys went for submission holds when everybody in the building knew it wasn't going to work. The ring announcer, also a question for you. The ROH ring announcer, Ian, however you want to say it, as I think it was maybe Taz. Kind of funny, but regardless, somebody's been with the company 10 years. Can anybody even tell me this guy's name or know who he was if he was standing 10 feet in front of you? I don't think Ring of Honor is nearly as popular as people believe it to be. Also, speaking with Ring of Honor, another question. They keep hyping Final Battle coming up in December. Where exactly is that going to be? Where can fans find it? Who's on the roster? It's a hot mess right now, everything ROH. Hit Soraya. Her return, her outfit, everything was perfect tonight. The old Paige, now going by her real name, looked good, showed a very little ring rust, and an extremely gutsy performance. But the question is, will she now take on the former WWE Diva landslide that everybody with the sole exception of Toni Storm has taken on? Time will tell. Would love to see her stay red hot. Another hit from tonight, the ending of the Hobbs vs. Wardlow match with Joe submitting Hobbs. Guys, we knew this was a three-way match. Now this was smart in the way that you keep Wardlow strong without him having to lose the title, and perhaps a future MJF title run lines up for Wardlow. You never know, it's a perfect story. We'll see how it goes, but again, Samoa Joe, as much as I hate having two belts on one guy, this could technically work with him being the TNT champion. And let's see where Wardlow goes from here. And again, you keep Wardlow looking strong, which is very important in this match. Giant miss tonight is the Sting vs. Jeff Jarrett stuff. It's beyond stupid at this point. TNA Impact failed for a reason, and this is not going to help AEW, who already has some negative WCW references going around about them as well. These aged veterans getting some spotlight matches when you have so much young talent on the card still not being used. A win for Darby Allin nonetheless, but still, this is a miss at the end of the day. Get him away from Sting, get him doing his own thing, and it's not fun anymore. Moving on. Tremendous match. Jamie Hayter coming out party. A definite hit. However, leads me to a question. After Jamie Hayter's victory tonight, winning the interim women's championship from Toni Storm, my question is this now. How much longer until you take that interim title off of there, and when is Thunder Rosa coming back? Definite miss. Again, perhaps the worst play-by-play guy in the business. Excalibur, they show a highlight package. Not really a highlight package, but a backstage package of MJF and, as I call him, Dean Ambrose, but Jon Moxley warming up backstage, and Excalibur goes, coming up next, the world title match. That has to catch himself when all that's over as they start to show a package for Swerve in Our Glory versus the Acclaimed. Get this guy off the air. But here we go with Swerve, Your Glory, whatever you want to call it. How about FTR not being on the pay-per-view? You hype up FTR, by the way, and again, that's a miss. They're the champion of what? All these different companies, and then they're not on the AEW brand pay-per-view, which I'm sorry, just kind of cracks me up. A lot of this does. They really dropped the ball in many areas. But regardless, let's get to the tag championship match. And by the way, I think it's absolutely hysterical and another huge miss. They keep talking about this big live gate, biggest live gate in AEW history, yet every single time they pan the crowd, you can see the two top sections of the entire place blacked off with curtains. There's nobody bought those tickets. They need to stop with that shit. No one's buying it. Moving on. Another big hit from tonight, Keith Lee separated himself from Swerve Strickland after Strickland slaps him in the face midway through the match. Keith Lee says the hell with it, leaves, and then Strickland ends up losing to the Acclaimed. Definitely a hit there. Would love to see what Keith Lee is going to do on his own. But at the same time, I kind of wonder, why not a little bit of a throwback? Thinking way back when, the Giant, Sting, Kevin Nash, some stuff they did back in WCW that actually worked when you have a tag team with one face and one heel who splits apart and still remains the champions. That would have been kind of cool to see how that would have worked out tonight. Overall, a hit. Now, as we look at the clock, 11:20, this show approaching its fourth hour. One major miss AEW needs to start realizing: shorter shows might be a little bit more well-received, as you do not want to start a main event at 11:30 at night. A mistake WWE ran into time and time again. Lucky for them, though, this is a Saturday night. All right, main event time it is. Well, Regal said, prove it to me, and I will support you. And that's what MJF did tonight. A giant hit. Something we all said coming. The second Jon Moxley said he was supposed to be on vacation a few months ago. We knew the title wouldn't be on him long, and it now belongs to MJF. Love him or boo him. He's going to bring you the ratings you want, and away we go. That's AEW Full Gear. Hits, misses, and questions.